Good afternoon, everyone. We are going to get started with our next session of Kroger's NextGen Job Readiness Program. We're so excited that you're here joining us today. We have our very illustrious Miss Tywana Mathis, who is going to be presenting today. Feel free, if you can remember, if you want to communicate and you're unable to do so through your microphone feature, always remember that the chat box is open. I do monitor that, and I will be giving that information to Tywana as we move forward. So Tywana, I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome. Thank you. So I'm so excited to see you guys today. I mean, overly excited. So last week, I actually brought some awesome videos that I wanted you guys to see. We couldn't get the sounds to work. But as I looked through this session, it actually was more ideal for you guys to view them today. And so today, really, what I want to do is, and let me turn this slide, is I want us to go down a journey of exploring life at Kroger in multiple areas of our business. And I know, again, with COVID, and because we're a retailer, we have all these things, we have actually been restricted to enter our buildings unless it is it's called an essential job within our company. So a lot of us actually have been at home since March. And so we haven't had visitors or anything. And so that was the bummer for me, because I definitely wanted you guys to be able to walk through those different facilities, especially our ice cream one, because you guys were going to have a chance to eat ice cream. But we do know that in June, we should get dates on when we'll actually return back to our corporate office, and then when we will resume business as usual. And so I'm hoping that as you guys look into next year, and I know some of you guys are junior and not all seniors, you still have the ability to do that. And so, but today I had to figure out a way, how can I still bring this experience to you guys? How can I still allow you to connect with associates within our company and still give you a insight of what it is to work for Kroger? And so we have some videos that I'm going to share with you guys today. There's actually multiple videos. They're not too long. I made sure that they didn't do really long videos. They're just enough for us to, at the end of each department, I'm going to stop and just ask you guys a few questions for each one of them, so that if you guys have questions, I can take that back to those department teams and really get that feedback. Afterwards, because we're going to talk about supply chain and manufacturing, it is important that I also discuss with you workplace safety and really talk about the importance of that within the Kroger company. And then we'll preview what the next session will be about as well. So to not hold you guys up, and also, like I said, we have all these great videos. I'm going to go ahead and get the videos started. Again, after we talk about a life in each department, we're going to stop and chat about it. But for now, I want to introduce you guys to our technology and digital department.
Kroger is an awesome place to work. You get to choose any technology you want to work on. They are as equipped as many companies in the West.
Probably the best part about interning here is just the family feeling. I'm on an agile team, maybe 15 people, right? And so I see them every day. There's a lot of back and forth. You kind of develop a camaraderie that, continues outside the office.
There are a lot of great ways to get involved outside of your day-to-day job, including things like volunteering, doing lunch and learns, and site tours.
We had some kickball games here where we played against managers, and it was totally fun. What I like best about interning here is the amount of encouragement I get and the freedom to choose from technologies.
I started working at Kroger Technology as an intern. I took on a number of exciting projects, which ultimately led to a full-time opportunity.
There's so many ways that you can try things out before you talk with Kroger. You can visit the website, check out the mobile application, make a click list order, and this will give you some excellent talking points for an interview and an idea of some of the cool projects that you might get to work on.
Okay, so let's take a look into the technology team.
We are the industry leader in retail technology.
You really get a chance to work on cool stuff, things like click list, where we are really revolutionizing the way we do business and the way people shop.
At the end of the day, it's always about our customers. We face something different every day, whether it's a technical issue or something else that we get to dive into and work on as either individuals or a team. It's never the same thing. And it's a great level of satisfaction to walk into a store and to look up and see something that I actually had a hand in helping to design.
One of the cool things about working for Kroger Technology is they allow you to bring your own personal brand. They encourage you to be unique, to do your job.
We embrace really the collaborative feel. We have a lot of people that work together throughout the entire company.
There is so much opportunity within this company.
I've moved up 2-3 positions in a year, and it's given me such a confidence boost. It's given me so many opportunities to just expand my career beyond what I ever thought I was even going to be able to do.
One of the greatest events that we hold here every year is the Technology Expo.
It was a big showcase where we had all the technology teams and all the new stuff that they're working on. Kroger partners with the Giving Fields. They plant food and they give them back to the less fortunate for like the food store and things like that.
I wake up every single day excited to come here to work, to learn something new, and I mean, I really wouldn't see any other place I'd rather be.
Something different.
Okay. So like I said, I was trying not to make those videos really long, but also just let them express and give you highlights of what we're doing. So I'm going to stop for a second because I love to hear from you guys and ask to see really what stood out to you guys in the video, in these 2 different videos that you guys were excited to hear about. And remember, I'll call on some names if you guys don't want to volunteer for me.
Feel free to unmute yourself or use the chat feature.
Sorry, I was having a technical issue.
Cameron.
Can you repeat the question again? Because you were working up on my end.
Yes. So I wanted to know, as you watched the video, what stood out to you?
What stood out was the technology part. I didn't know that there was more into like Kroger. Yeah. When I thought about Kroger, I thought that, you know, it's a business where they bring food in, you set things up with the customers, and basically something like that. But I didn't know there was another part to it. Like there's the technology part. I didn't know that there was more that was just than I expected, to be honest. I just thought that it was just, they were mainly doing with wholesales and food and stockings, and that's what I thought. I knew it had a few technology, but I didn't think it was more like something advanced what they were doing. I agree.
We get that a lot, especially me as a recruiter when I go out and I'm talking to individuals, and my passion really is like you guys as a generation. And I'm like, you know, talking about Kroger, and they're like, all I think about is groceries. And I'm like, no, it's so much more. And especially when it comes from technology and digital, we actually want to be known as a company that is a technology company that happens to sell groceries. So that area is growing like wildfire. And so when you think about it, we are looking for coders, we're looking for all type of people. We're getting into robotics and just digital innovation. So if we think about what the story is today, we're also trying to think technology-wise, how can we bring like this futuristic feel to our consumers? So you're right, I get that a lot. A lot of people are like, what, digital technology? Like, what are you guys doing on that side? And once we start to talk about just the different things that come out of there, they're super like blown away that this team even offer those things. And this is actually a tour that we offer at our BTC that we'll definitely offer. And hopefully if you guys are still there, I can like grab you guys as well. But when you get to go there, they actually show you a lot of like virtual reality things that we're doing. And so you have these goggles and you can pick out your groceries through this virtual experience and all of these things. And so you really get to see and live what they're doing every day in this awesome digital campus that they actually have in Blue Ash.
Okay.
Awesome. And so another question. So what did you guys, well, you already told me what you learned about. So is there any more additional information that you would like to know, Cameron, or anyone else about the technology team.
Is it possible for any age to like sign up there?
So that's a great question. Our technology team actually is not the only department, one of 2 departments that offer a summer high school internship. At the moment, since our fiscal year, actually our new year for Kroger starts in February, and so we just switched over. I haven't had an update on what our year would look like due to COVID. A lot of things paused last year, and we want to see if it's going to pause this year. But this department is actually one that offers a high school internship program. More of it, I think, is centered around digital and technology, but also on a coding side.
Interesting.
So I'll get you more information on that as well.
Okay.
Perfect. Any other questions? Okay. All right, we're going to move right along. This time moves so fast. Sorry, I would need to make this like 2 hours long. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so let's take a look. This video is actually a little bit longer because, again, manufacturing is one of our departments that we do like an extensive tour. And so they wanted to try their best to put as much as possible in one video. So it's like 8 minutes long, so bear with me. But again, this also is a department team that actually offers a high school apprenticeship program within their department. So I'm going to go ahead and hit play now. Okay. So as you can see, each department took a different approach. So they wanted to show you guys because as I said, at our dairy plant, we have the ability to walk around. And as we walk around, we look at each item. They talk to us about how they make milk. They talk to us about how they make ice cream and all those things. And so what they did at the end, which I thought was super thoughtful, is they wanted to give screenshots of themselves because that actually is job shadowing. You would have been with one of them. And so they just wanted to say hi at the end and let you guys know that is their everyday life. When you think of manufacturing the Kroger company, there's two things to think about. Manufacturing actually creates our food, and they design our food. So they have a creation process within the designing of our food as well. And so the next thing I actually wanted to go over is ask you guys quick questions. So I'm going to stop talking for a second and just to hear your thoughts. No, not this again. Next slide. Okay. So what stood out to you guys?
My thought on the amount of like them putting things I don't know how to spell it. Let me rephrase that again. My thought about them is I pretty much figured they were like a milk company. Every time I think about Kroger, I always think about either dairy products. And, it's weird that, it's kind of obvious that I've seen Kroger products, like it says manufactured by Kroger, but when you get to like see how it's done, it's kind of like, I don't know, it's like them creating their own product without getting it from another factory or something like that, which is kind of awesome, I guess. I had another, I forgot. It was can't remember right now, to be honest. But I think them making their own products is like pretty decent. I think it's also, I'm not sure. My opinion is that it probably saves money too. I don't know. Instead of buying from other people. That's what I think.
And we still do buy from other brands. I think another cool thing is when you have your own product line, it allows you to be extremely innovation. One thing that Kroger did last year is that we partnered with Xavier University in their business class. And during that, they did a business concept where they came up with a new brand of ice cream, right? And so each group had to develop a flavor, had to develop what they thought would be just like a new taste. And so the team went about it. They did the whole thing. They did the presentations. They talked about like a social media impact and all of these great things. And actually one of the students' ice cream got picked. So when you go to Kroger and if you see that Kroger ice cream, which is like a birthday explosion, that is actually a student from Xavier University who actually created that flavor and that whole ideal. And so I think that's what having your own brand and your own product allow you to do is be extremely creative and also leverage others to help you in that process.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah.
Anyone
So is there
else?
any additional? Go ahead, Ms.
I was just saying, anyone else wanted to unmute and share? Let me see. What about one of the Donovans? Dublin or Collins? Which one? Everybody's shy today. I think iPhone is Abigail.
Yeah, sorry, I keep forgetting to change the name on it.
You're
No
fine. I
worries.
know it now. I know who it is now. You have any thoughts?
Well, just one thing that kind of, I guess, stood out in the video and also just stood out in general was like previous. Sorry, my dog.
No worries.
But the mailman came, so you know how the dog's
Yes.
the mailman. But one thing that has always stood out is how like the prices, like Kroger's prices, like their brand, their prices are always very affordable, and the quality, like the taste and the quality of their brand is actually really good. So that's kind of something that's always stood out to me. And like, just, I guess watching the video was neat to like watch how the everyday manufacturing goes.
Yeah, and I guess the best part about watching it, if we were there, is to be able to eat the ice cream. So that's always the best treat that they have for us. So we'll definitely have to do that. But it goes back to basically, Abigail, what you and Cameron, what Cameron just said as well, is that being able to have our own brand actually helps with costs. It helps us to bring down that cost. And I'm happy for you to say that not only is it a good brand, but it tastes good, because that's what we always hope for. Sometimes you have those big brands, and then you have another brand who tries to come out with their own brand. You're like, I'm gonna stick with the big brand because it tastes better. But we have noticed that they do a great job as far as making sure the quality of that Kroger brand is actually really good. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to actually move on to the next slide. This one will be actually a little different. I'm going to stop sharing because I have to share it on my browser. Give me 1 second, guys. Being with you guys have allowed me to become extremely efficient in Zoom. Yeah, I was not that good. I was not that good because we do Teams, Microsoft Teams, but I think I'm getting better. So let me know if you guys can hear this one.
The Kroger supply chain family knows a thing or two about pulling together to get the job done and what it takes to truly deliver fresh for everyone. We celebrate our people, our purpose, and our promise every day in the way we uplift each other and our customers. We deliver tomorrow's ideas today, facing challenges head on, and work together to make the impossible possible. We're kicking off 2020 with focus and clear direction, creating an experience that will inspire associates to work with us, inspire communities to connect with us, and inspire customers to shop with us. We are one team with one vision: to deliver a fresh and seamless customer experience powered by uplifted associates, innovative technology, cost-effective strategies, and green initiatives. So, the only thing left to ask is, are you up for the challenge?
Okay. So that's supply chain. Now, if I switch over, let me know, Ms. Keys, if you can see this next video. Can you see the next video?
Yes.
Okay. So now we're just going to talk about how they feed the human spirit. Then after that, I'll tell you a little bit about supply chain and what's different from supply chain and manufacturing.
Kroger is an amazing company. It's been a great experience. I've had some great leadership that have actually helped develop and mold me.
It's a place where I can't wait to get up every morning and see what the new challenge will be.
We get to service customers and friends and families throughout the whole United States, and that's really something that we can be proud of.
I love what I do. I come to work every day with a smile. I mean, it's fantastic to challenge my mind, my soul, and my spirit.
I was told that it was a good place to work, and then I found out it was an awesome place to be and work. And we just support each other constantly.
I've been with the Kroger company for 34 years. 34 years of greatness. And that's beautiful for me. Beautiful for my family. Keeping it fresh for you.
I love how diverse it is. I love learning new things from different people, from different places of the world. You always can stretch out and grow somewhere.
One of the things that I love working for Kroger is its culture, passion for people. They are friendly, caring, and provide everything fresh, which embodies the company's mission of feeding the human spirit.
A salutation and a simple smile goes a long way, I think, to feeding someone's human spirit. By feeding someone else's, I'm also feeding my own.
Since day one, I've been treated like somebody, and that's priceless. This company has open doors everywhere if you want to grow within.
And they were able to work and give me a schedule that allowed me to provide for my family while also making them a priority in my life. It's been that stability that I needed while allowing that work-life balance, which has been incredible.
My path hasn't been easy. This was supposed to be my summer job before I went off to college. And unfortunately, my parents' health started to deteriorate, and I decided to stay closer to home and continue my job at Peyton's. And it paid off. I was able to spend the last few years with my dad before he passed away, along with having the opportunity to move into leadership and continue to advance my career.
Respect, honesty, integrity, inclusion, and diversity. Come work for Kroger. Come help feed the human spirit, not just within ourselves, but with the world out there.
Why should someone come and work for Kroger? Great people work at Kroger.
Okay. So before I go to the slide, the other video is up here. So I'm just going to stop and ask you guys feedback. What stood out to you guys in this video in the supply chain? And before I ask that, let me tell you a little bit about supply chain also. So manufacturing, as I stated, they're the producers of our food. Supply chain helps with the distribution. And so when you see everything that hit the shelves and you see everything in stock, this is the team that has to make sure that. So snowstorms, all of those things, they have to fight through everything to make sure that food is delivered on time and on the shelves and ready for our consumers. And so it's a lot to go with that. On one of the slides you've seen, it was a digital model of a warehouse, and it looks like a car. It looked like boxes was going on a car. So that's our newly built Monroe Robotics supply chain distribution center. And so we are actually the first company in the United States that have a robotics distribution center that consists of 75% of the job is being done by robots, and the other 25% are basically the drivers of the robots. And so this is a new concept. This is our first one. Our goal is to have 14 sheds, which are distribution centers, within the next 3 years. So they're going to go up fast. And so this is just another example of how our technology and digital and how we're trying to be innovative in this space, and to work on how can we figure out as a company to be the first. And so now I'll stop and see what stood out to you guys or what questions do you guys have. I'm leaning on you, Cameron.
I don't have any questions right now. I pretty much figure that I knew that was going to happen. It was just there, I pretty much figured that they were like the ones who bring the food and stock the food up, but it's just there was other like things I didn't know that I'm learning now, I'm guessing, like as far as the manufacturing and the robotics and the technology and what they're doing. Those are things I didn't know. I just thought Kroger was just, the main, I never thought there was just more to that.
I'm with you.
Like their teams in it, and I didn't know that.
Yeah. Thanks.
Cool. So I'm thinking Sainabu, are you there?
If you're speaking, you're on mute. She's probably on mute. No. Okay.
Taryn?
I don't know. I enjoyed hearing how everyone enjoyed like working in their environment, because I feel like it's really important that they they enjoy coming to work. They don't see it as a chore. They don't see it as something that they have to do, but something that they want to do.
I agree. Thank you. Thanks, Cameron. Thanks, Taryn. Okay, so I'm going to take you guys on this journey of I Am Kroger. And this video is not long at all. And then we'll jump right into workplace safety. So 1 second.
We are America's grocery store. And we are more than just the products on our shelves. We are innovators. We are problem solvers. We are inventors. We are dreamers. We are the experts. And we've been feeding Americans since 1883. 11 million people walk through our doors every single day. And we know more about our customers than anyone else in the world. We know what they want before they know they want it. Ever since Barney Kroger dared to put a butcher shop inside his tiny store in Cincinnati, we've been transforming the industry. And we'll keep doing that by any means necessary. We are 460,000 strong. We are believers. We are doers. And we aren't slowing down. This is in our hands. This is what we do. This is who we are.
This is who I am.
I am Kroger.
I am Kroger.
I'm Kroger.
I am Kroger. I am Kroger.
I
am Kroger.
Okay. I'm going to stop sharing this video and pull back up with the presentation. Okay. And so the I am Kroger was to pull it all together. And so they wanted to let us show you that who we are. But I love the way the conviction in her voice. And the one thing that always stood out to me when she told me that they were going to do, when Barney Kroger dared, he dared to put that butcher place within that little store in Cincinnati. And so we all in that building, and all our roles, even me being in HR, is 550,000 of us are committed to, again, bringing that innovation, bringing that great idea. Innovation, when I talk about innovation, is just not from, like you said, Cameron, from a grocery store thought. I thought the same thing. When I was in college or high school and I seen Kroger, all I thought was like, Kroger's a grocery store. I'm not working in no grocery store. I have no dream of working in the grocery store. What am I doing in the grocery store outside of buy my groceries? So I completely understand when you're like, I never knew any of this. But the great thing about it is the innovation, and what we're committed to doing is making sure that people, again, know that we're more than just a grocery store. And what we do that is so important to our communities and to everyone, and how we are going to be the first and stand in that space and continue to be the first and leaders in this space. So it's 550,000 people thinking the same thing. And so when I was talking about innovation, and again, not just from what goes on our shelves, but even thinking about this program, with me being in diversity and recruiting, this never existed. And so I knew it was important that we needed to build a program that connect us to that new generation, that also allows that new generation to make us better. But then also, how do we bring opportunities to them that allows us to continue to, again, be in that first and bring in that top talent that is soon to be in the work industry. And so we have to continue to think innovatively, and how can we continue to hear from our consumers without it being a bad situation. And so these avenues of connection allows us to also let people know we're more than a grocery store, but then also hear from you guys without it being, you had a horrible time at a grocery store. It's a more positive environment, but then also we both, what's in it for both of us. And so this is just another form of innovation that you can do within Kroger. And so I'm going to stop and see from that video that they put together, which I love, what is your thoughts around that? All I need is one person to volunteer. So we heard from Taryn. I think Taryn is trying to speak up. You're on mute because the box is lit up. Donovan, do you want to volunteer?
Everybody's shy today.
It's okay. I said a lot for you guys, right? Did I sum it up? Did I sum it up for you?
Can I ask you a question, Ms. Taiwana,
yes,
while they're thinking?
Yes.
So that video made me think about something. A little birdie told me that if you are a Kroger employee, that you receive extra discounts for groceries that you buy.
Yes.
Is that true?
That is true. Yes. So we get 15% off of Kroger branded items and then 10% off of all things. So that's absolutely true. Yep.
So going back to what Abigail said, talking about the cost, like that's a benefit. That I was thinking about the benefits of working for Kroger, whether it's on the retail side or the manufacturing side or distribution side that you're sharing
Yeah.
with us today. That's another huge benefit. If you buy your groceries at Kroger, which we hope that you are,
Yeah.
right, Ms. Mathis?
Yes.
You get an additional discount on your groceries.
That is true. And also to just restate something that I know we said it like our first session, but a lot of you guys actually joined at different times. And so even in our first session, outside of that benefit on our groceries, we also have it where we have tuition reimbursement, which is so huge. And I like to always communicate this because a lot of times companies are like, we can give you tuition reimbursement, but you actually have to be full-time. With Kroger, you can actually be part-time. And so even if you're making a decision, you're like, you know what, I'm not going to actually get a college. I don't want to go to college and be in there for 4 years. But maybe you go into something that requires a certification. Maybe you're like, I'm going to be a pharmacy tech, or I'm going to get a certification. And they have certifications in STEM now. So you might be like, I'm going to get a certification in software development or something. They actually pay for that. And so even if you don't get a degree, you still have the ability for Kroger to pay for your certification. That's like $0 out of your pocket. But then you also think about those who are deciding to go to school and you want to still be able to assist with like the financing of your school, even if you work part-time. So say you decide you're like, you know what, I'm going to be a cashier every other weekend just to make sure you have some money while you're in school. I actually work full-time while I was in college. I do not advise that. I did not enjoy college because I was too busy working. So I did not have fun. However, I do think college is an experience, so do not work full-time. So I always say, even if you work part-time, you say every other weekend I'll do cashier, you still get the benefit, the full benefit of Kroger paying for your tuition reimbursement. It is not prorated, it is not adjusted. You get the same amount as someone that is a full-timer. So just even thinking about that can be something that you could put towards your schooling, and you won't have to do a lot when it comes to financial aid. But then also, again, if you do decide not to go to college, you still have the ability to get certifications that actually can help you make a lot of money as well. I mean, that is something that everyone is talking about. That's another thing at Kroger we want to make sure we're communicating, is that we have opportunities that do not require you to go to college, and you are still going to get paid really good money in these spaces. The videos that I actually just showed you, a lot of those roles do not require college degrees. The only ones that are a little bit more specified is our technology team, but as we are growing as a country and as a world in STEM, they're actually starting to accept certifications. And so that actually will be new to you guys as you guys start to enter into the new world of corporate America. And so I always think about, when you're working somewhere, how can it assist you outside of you just showing up every day? What's the benefits and what's in it for you?
Good stuff.
Awesome. So I'm going to actually go over to internships and entry-level opportunities. And so I wanted to just really take time to talk to you guys about the different opportunities we have within Kroger. And so as I just stated, I went on that whole tangent about opportunities within our company that does not require you to have a college degree. And I wanted to make sure that I actually broke that down so that as you guys start to think about life after high school, and you think about Kroger, you will have these things in your mind like, okay, she did say, maybe I can't do this because they require, but this is still an entry level into that department. And so when we think of corporate, and that's that big, tall building down on Vine Street, I work out of that building on the 19th floor. When you think of corporate, that is what we're talking about, our main office. And so a lot of our internship programs we have are really under the HR umbrella. We are still, as a company, working on having a centralized internship program. And what that means is making sure that every department within our company has an internship program. That does not exist now, but we are working to do that in 2021. We have an audit internship, and we also have a finance internship. But then when you think about what is something you can do without having a degree, because you decided that you don't want to go to college, I don't want student debt, and that is okay. And so a lot of our positions in order that are entry-level positions into corporate is in our administrative side. So if you see any position that's like an admin or an executive assistant or just an administrator overall, they typically do not require you to have a degree. So technology, that is a huge department. That is where the driver is. A lot of people are just more interested in this space. We have a technology developer internship, software engineering internship, a data scientist internship, and a coder internship. The coder one is the high school one that we discussed, but then also I was actually, when talking to the department, talking about the video, I was actually made aware also that typically they have in the past, they have hired students that have experience in coding as young as 16. And so the reason that I wanted to tell you guys, because I know you guys in Princeton are doing like all these amazing things when it comes to STEM. And I know some of you as a student, if you're passionate, I know some of your parents might put you in different programs like Code in America and all these different things. And so if you know anyone or if you have experience, I see a chat. If you know anyone and you have experience, we do typically have positions that are coders, and they have hired as young as 16. And I'm going to stop because I think someone has a question.
It's a personal one.
Okay. Perfect. And so then when you think of it from an entry-level position, and so you're like, what position can I work if I decide not to go and get that 4-year degree? We have IT support. And so that's typically the entry-level position within our technology team. And so supply chain and manufacturing, one thing that is new, and I don't really think it's been communicated outside the Kroger company, is our supply chain and manufacturing team actually just combined to one team 3 months ago. And so you will start to see a lot of that experience be put together in a very unique way. And so they're still trying to work out what that looks like. But I'm excited to see that team come together. And so amongst both, you have the ability to do some industrial engineering, refrigeration application designer. You're probably like, what is that? And a quality engineer. And so the refrigeration is one that is actually, if you're looking at a industry that is underpopulated, so not overpopulated with personnel, it is the refrigeration one. When you think of manufacturing, think about all the things they create, also from a dairy and just other, and all the refrigeration they use to do that. And so there is a degree that covers that space, and not a lot of people actually know that it exists. And so that is typically always an area within our company that is a hard to fill position, which means it is one of those ones, is like turning over a rock to find someone who is actually experienced in this space. Quality engineering is about the quality of the food. So they're more of like inspectors within the manufacturing center and supply chain. And so a few of those positions that you do not have to have a degree, one is actually refrigeration tech, which is a position that you will need a certification, but not a degree. There is a program at Cincinnati State. A lot of the 2-year colleges offer it, but that is an entry-level position into manufacturing, and then also warehouse maintenance. So then when you think about our retail, and that is more so what you thought of, Cameron, what I thought of when I was in school is our grocery stores. We have an internship, which is a retail management internship, and you guys will be excited to know that this is actually being created by me as another person on my team. This will be new to the company this year. We are actually piloting that program summer of 2021. And so I'll be able to give you some great insight into that. And we're working to understand age. When we talk about the red tape and also our legal team, we're understanding what that program age limit will be. So I'll be able to share with you guys. You'll have first insight into the overall of that program. But when you think of retail, other positions that are not just baggers, cashiers, and those things, that are more so you're going to make really good money and put you into that entry-level leadership, is that you do not require you to have a degree, which is our department head. So those are our individuals, our managers over departments. So if you see someone, a manager in like seafood, that will be the department head of seafood. You have a frontline manager who is responsible for everyone on the front line. So cashiers, baggers, customer service, and all of those things. You do not need a degree for that. And then we have a restaurant area of our business, which is also considered a part of our retail, and it's Kitchen 1883. And so with that, any of the positions within our Kitchen 1883, actually you do not have to have a degree for, which is actually odd because that is another another part of our business that is pretty much hard to fill. And I think it's because of the exposure, and not a lot of people know about that area or that part of our business. And so we do have 2 restaurants, 3. One is in Anderson, which is a Kitchen 1883. Another one is in Florence. And then we have the one downtown that's in the food court next to the new Kroger by the Kroger corporate office. So I'm going to stop for a second and see if you guys have any questions.
Okay. Right now, I don't have any questions. I think now I know. Now I can finally say now I can understand how things are going in Kroger. All I'm just saying is that was just the technology part was the thing that got me a little bit more, because I didn't know there's more to it, and I didn't know that there was like special groups, like teams that are split up. All I thought is that, like I was saying earlier, they only sell groceries, and I mean we have to buy the groceries, and that's all they do. And I didn't want to be like a cashier or anything. That's why I didn't know there was more beyond that as far as like Kroger.
Mm-hmm.
When I was thinking of Kroger, I was thinking if either you be a cashier or you be a stalker. I didn't know there's other parts to that.
Yeah. Cameron, you just made me smile, because that is my overall goal, is to make sure everyone leaves knowing that it's so much more and that the opportunities are there. And so you saying that just helps me to know that that is what is being translated to you guys, and that's what you're receiving. So that's awesome. Right. So I've been watching the time. I'm sorry. I was like, I knew these videos was going to take me, but I'm going to go ahead and move into workplace safety. And so the importance of workplace safety, as we just talked about supply chain and manufacturing, as you can see, it's a lot of equipment, a lot of moving parts. And so anytime that you have a lot of that, there's always things that can happen, even from a retail perspective. If you think about like our deli, our stock room, and all of those things. And so as a company, it is very important to us that you guys put your safety first, and that we understand that a safe workplace is a productive one. We do not care the size of the mistake or the size of things that could potentially happen. We want to make sure as you come in to work, you leave home safe and feeling secure within your workplace. Also within Kroger, we do have each team, which is our business unit, our divisions. Divisions are our retail side. Business units are our manufacturing and our supply chains. They all have their own individual safety protocols, but it is our job to ensure that every associate understands what that safety means, and that they feel as if it is enough for them to be safe and to do their jobs properly. I don't think. Okay. Perfect. And so I want us to just go over Kroger's expectations over workplace safety. And so again, as I always say, is safety first. Nothing takes precedent of your safety. It's important that you feel that you are equipped not just with what you need to be successful at your job, but equipped with the knowledge of how to perform your job safely. Second, a unified commitment to safety. All personnel share the same responsibility for safety. So sometimes, as you go into a workplace and you're like, okay, I'm the new person. And sometimes it could feel like, do it feel as if I'm the only one that is like following the guidelines at Kroger? That is not acceptable, nor tolerated. And so we want to make sure from the head, so from the VP of the plant to the person that is doing the job, that they are also committed to the safety of everyone. Our next is workplace safety procedures and processes are communicated. As I just stated, it is vital that you receive the information about how to do your job safe, and how to perform within a safe environment. Our next one is consistent change to safety procedures to adhere to industry standards. And so you will never be there in a role and you get a safety procedure the first year you get there. Within probably 6 months, you'll probably have an update to that and are communicated that. And that's just something a lot of people are like, that's just a lot of information, but it's actually keeping you safe, and keeping us safe as a company to our industry standards. And so I know sometimes we get in the repetitiveness of our job, and we know our jobs better than the experts. And I'm not being sarcastic by that. We do the job every day, so we know the nuance of the job and how to do it properly. But as a company, we have to make sure that we're always meeting the industry standards and doing what is expected of the industry. And so you will always be given the most up-to-date information when it comes to your safety at the Kroger company. We do require open communication amongst the employees and leadership. So it is never a time that you should feel as if you cannot go to leadership when you feel as if your safety is at jeopardy, or you see things or have experienced things that put your safety at jeopardy. We have open communication policy. It is your really your duty also to feel as if, like, if you see something, you say it. It doesn't not matter the title or the level, because your safety, it goes back to number one, your safety is first, and that's what you lean on. Also, we do require that our management showcase safety as a top priority. Sometimes I remember being new to the workforce, being young, straight out of high school, and I will be told by leadership, like, hey, you have to do this. But then you will always see them not doing it. And so that actually just caused an environment of confusion. And so Kroger, we make it a priority that our managers showcase what they're asking their associates to do. And then if not, and that is communicated, again, it goes back to non-tolerant. And so we never want you to be in your role and feel as if you're asking me to wear these gloves or to wear this mask, but you never do. And so I need to also see you exhibit safety first as you're requiring me to as well. And so lastly, stopping work if safety is compromised. We are not against stopping work. If we are contacted as an HR team and is communicating anything around safety, we will shut the plant down. It is important that our associates make it home safe, and they feel safe, and nothing jeopardize that. And sometimes you don't know what's going on because you're not there. And so we always communicate in our onboarding sessions as an HR team that you are our eyes and our ears. And so if we're missing anything as a company, you always have someone that you can communicate with and connect with that will make sure that your safety is a priority. And so we're not against shutting down a plant to get everything situated and get it corrected, to make sure that we do not experience something that we cannot come back from. And so these are our top expectations. These are communicated. If you ever go into one of our roles, again, with our onboarding experience from our HR team, you will hear this loud and proud that these are what we expect. And so we do expect that those who are already there exhibit these things to you as you come on as a new employee. But if not, we want you to remember us and know that we are here for you. And so before I move over, actually move to our next slide, which is our next session preview, I'm going to stop to see if anybody have any questions about workplace safety. No? You guys are quiet today. That I'm doing really good. I'm really know you guys are just really quiet.
I don't have a question. Not trying
Awesome. Thanks, Cameron. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll move on to our next slide. So I wanted to make sure that everyone is prepared for our next session. So our next session, we're going to talk a little bit more about workplace etiquette. So we talked about safety. We'll talk about etiquette, which is something a lot of schools are just like, can you teach them this? Can we talk about this? And we want to make sure we talk about that. We want to talk about time management, because I think that is something that as you come into corporate America, no one really talks about. And you don't really learn that you need time management until you don't have time management. And then someone's like, you need to work on your time management skills. You're like, what is that? And so we're going to talk about that. And there's a few more things we'll discuss as well. But I know that we're literally at time. But before we leave, there is one last video. I'm going to stop this really quick and show you guys. I promise, Ms. Keys, it's not going to take that long.
Food. We all love it. From the picky eaters to the family feeders, the first daters and the celebrators, the wine and cheesers and the lemon squeezers. We sell groceries to America, but that, my friends, is just the beginning. Because we believe that fresh, delicious, memory-making, mouth-watering food that you dream about should be available to everyone, every day, in every way. And that's what we're doing, without pomp, pretension, or premium pricing. And while our days may be filled with cart pushing, cookie baking, innovating, produce picking, and trunk stuffing, food, delicious, fresh, affordable food, is at the absolute center of everything we do. But we are more than just meticulous meat slicers, cupcake frosters, or apple aficionados. We are meal makers, belly fillers, community builders, friendly-facing, name-remembering, passionate people who just happen to have an obsession for food, for meals, and for making memories. So, whether it's picking out the perfect peanut butter for her first day of school or icing the cake for his long-awaited retirement, we've got them covered. We always have, and we always will. Because we're fresh for everyone.
Okay. So I will end with that for you guys. And do you see, we are all in the Kroger company obsessed with food. I wanted to share that because that is something you will hear now as you hear us recruit for candidates. We are definitely looking for individuals that are passionate about food and passionate about everyone. And so I wanted to, in a short video, just showcase that and just show you what we talk about and what we are thinking about when we say fresh for everyone. And so I know I came up on the 2 minutes. Thanks to Ms. Key for allowing me to go over just a little bit. But as always, if you guys have any questions or need additional information, and Cameron, I'm going to see what additional information I can get from the technology team as well about this year high school internship. But if you guys have anything else, just please connect with Ms. Key, and then she'll get that information to me, and then I'll work on it on my end.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Ms. Mathis, again for a wonderful presentation.
Thank you.
Those were very appetizing videos. And I want to say thank you to the students who were able to participate today. We do know that some students weren't able to make it. We also provide the link to these videos so that they can go back and review them. So we have all the sessions recorded. They can review them, go over them. Use them as they go forward. We appreciate you for your impact that you have on our students, and that you create the opportunity for them to learn more about what it is to work in a corporate environment such as your company, Kroger. So without further ado, if we don't have anything else from the students, if we have any student questions, feel free to unmute yourself now or type it in the chat. I'll give you a couple seconds if you like. All right, hearing none, like we end all of our sessions, we want to thank you. And as always,
go Vikes.
Go Vikes.
Thanks, Ms. Keys. Thanks, guys. Have a great day.
All right, bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.